today we're going to talk about managing your mental health as a mom. And we have a guest joining us. Okay, let me add her. Okay. Oh, hey, girlfriend. I just added you.
Hey
Hey,
there.
Chimere. Hi, girlfriend. You look,
How are you? Let
look
me
at
get
you. You got your lipstick on.
that. Oh shit. Sorry. I'm trying to yeah. So let's see. Yeah.
How you feeling? How you feeling?
I had a busy day, but I'm happy I'm here. I made it. Okay, I think it's staying. Okay, I think it's staying. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I had to make a little makeshift uh uh whatchamacallit, ring light for
A
myself in the
ring
house.
light?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
The one I use at the office, so I made one here. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Same like you had a busy day, but we're here. Talk
Mm-hmm.
about some important things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks for inviting me.
thanks for coming on. I'm so grateful for that. You know, it's hard to get everybody's schedule aligned, So I'm glad it worked out.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm so happy to have you here. And so today we're going to be talking about mental health as a mom. How can you manage your mental health as a mom? And first, let's start by what is mental health, right? So with your mental health, it's your emotional well-being. It's the way that we think, the way we feel, and how we behave. You know, and it's so important for us to be able to manage that and be able to assess when something may be going off track, and if we need to, shift some things, we have to take care of our mental state and our mental well-being, because it's what we're putting out there also into the world. The first thing I want to ask is how do you assess for yourself or acknowledge and identify when something is just like it's just like not right? Gotta the mental is just
I think it starts off by, hold on, let me turn this on. There you go. It's a little better. There you go. Um, I feel like first it requires some self-awareness. I feel like at 40, I've gotten a lot better at being self-aware because I don't think I really paid attention to some things. But you're asking, like, how do I check myself, or how do I evolve into getting better, or how do I notice?
like, how do you know? Yeah, how do you? Because I see so many people are like just just they're on a regular routine. They're just and adding more things to the plate and just moving. How do you identify that? Okay, maybe I need to slow down, or maybe I need to something in me needs to change. And it's not like people like to blame the outside, right? Instead of looking within first to see like
Yeah, for me, I can tell when, like, how my actions are. Like, am I going off on my kids? Like, it'll be before I I'm outwardly. I can tell it's within my soul, like what I want to say and how I want to say it, and then I'll decide what I want to do. So it's kind of like me being aware of those things. And when I realize that's not one of the things you normally want to do. Why do you feel like you want to? Then I
right.
know I'll. So, like, especially with my children, as we are all like healing ourselves and trying to do something a little different from how we were raised. Not that my childhood was horrible, but doing definitely things a lot different than what I was. I'll say 50-50, I will
Right.
hear, like, since my daughter, my oldest, she asked me, she was probably like 10. She was like, Mommy, why do you look off to the side like you're thinking as you're talking to me? And I was like, well, baby, good observation. What happens, I literally can hear my parents in my head to respond to the things my kids would say to me, and I'll be like, nah. and then I'll say what I want to say. So when I get agitated, it's me, probably, I don't know if that's, I don't know if that's another question, but like, I'll know I need my essential things that I will go to,
Yeah.
but it's really me, is me being aggravated and wanting to unleash on someone, and then realizing is because all this is not anybody, this is all me. So
Right.
yeah.
Exactly. Right. And what are some of those things that you do to, to fuel yourself, to make sure that you're good and so that you're presenting your best self to your kids and, to your employees? Because, Chimere is the owner of Dr. Locs. Okay. Sprayed your girl before we got on. Okay. So yes, presenting yourself, to your employees. So you're just not like, I told you to get that, like that kind of thing.
I think it requires a lot of, well, my go-to things is rest. That's number one. Then I drink water.
Mhm.
I have a theory about water. There's nobody that's stressed that's taken in all their water intake for the day. And so I challenge anyone that's watching this to see how you react tomorrow, by drinking like whatever your body weight is, half in ounces, and see how you conquer your stress throughout the day. I don't think anyone is that stressed when they had, because your brain's like, it's like dry when you're not drinking enough water. So I make sure I'm checking in with my, like, okay, what's up with your water? Did you get some sleep? Oh, okay, you didn't get, that's why you're irritated. And you know what? There's gonna be irritations in life, but it's all the only thing we can control, right? Is how we react to them. So if
Right.
I can, keep me good. Also, I may need to communicate. I mean, I so a lot of people say journal. My mind goes fast. So journaling it's never been a jam for me. One of my dear friends, she's a therapist, and so she recommended me vlogging. So I have a lots of videos on my phone of me just talking to myself. It's usually when I'm driving. I put it in the holster and I'll just talk. And that has been like one of the newest, best things to do, because a lot of us walk around with a whole lot of shit. I hope I can say that on your platform. A lot of stuff that
Say
we
it.
leash. And sometimes, you don't need to give it to your girlfriends. You just need to try that first.
Yeah.
But that has been helpful, just to be able to dump it somewhere. Um, and then the self-care, like all of this is self-care. Self-care is every day, every moment for me, all the time.
Every moment.
How I talk to myself internally.
Yes.
I give my
Absolutely.
we give our kids a lot of grace. Do I give myself grace? So I talk to myself and I call myself baby all the time. I talk to so giving myself grace, buying flowers for myself, and my daughters. Um, there's tons of things. Like I said, self-care is all the time for me. I'm not putting it on one day, because I'm dealing with things all the time. So even at work, so in my office, I'll bring my yoga mat. If I want to, I'll stretch. Sometimes I don't have time, but I'll make sure I'll make sure I eat. Um, and sometimes I will cry. I'll just sit in my office and cry. Like, I'm not sad or whatever, but if I am sad or something's aggravating me, I don't feel like I don't I give myself the permission to be sad when I want to.
Yeah.
That's how I genuinely can be optimistic and happy most of my life,
Right.
because I give myself permission to be sad, because I feel like, especially with social media, we have a lot of our accolades online, and people secretly suffering in silence. And so I like to, I'll show y'all all the stuff.
Right.
I don't natural for me to go online to cry, but if it happens, it happens. But like, to give yourself permission privately to be freaking sad.
Yeah. To feel those emotions, because
Feel the
they are emotions. We can't, and although this platform is Live Happy Girl, like we're not going to be happy all the time. It's feeling those emotions that need to feel in order to get back to that place that you want to be. Like you sometimes you gotta sit
Sure.
there and analyze that emotion, figure out why you're even there instead of trying to get rid of it, because that kind of it comes back worse, right?
It's energy and it has to go somewhere. And
Yeah,
I find my community, the Black community, and actually as a hairstylist for 15 years, I've watched and carried weight. I've carried baggages from women for years, shared our pain, heard their pain.
right,
Um, a lot of us don't have a space to unleash, especially moms. You know, they feel like they have to love their kids all the time or like them, I say. They don't feel comfortable. They have to put this face on. And honestly, I feel like that's like a straight like journey towards like illness, and sickness, mental, physical, because that sadness has to go somewhere. And my theory is it turns into cancers and stuff like that, is your body is not at ease,
right,
so we gotta be aware of that. And it's like a light bulb when you start becoming self-aware and
yeah,
aware of your body. Like, why did I have a tummy ache just now? Am I holding whatever I'm stressing about in my stomach, in my uterus? Like, that's a real
right.
thing.
It is. It
Mhm.
is. It's man. You know, I have little ones. I know your babies are a lot older, so they're probably a little bit more independent. But like I have a 2 year old getting ready to turn 3 and a 6 year old getting ready to turn 7, and they're just like clingy, right? And then they're like, but like I need time. So then I'm like trying to also express to them, look, I love you so very much, but mommy needs this time, and to try to explain it to them, because not only am I needing that time, they also have to learn that they need their time as well. And they're also going to be little babies that grow up into adults, and now is a great time for them to understand that and to learn that for themselves. So my 2 year old does not understand it yet, but my soon to be
What is she?
7 year old, huh?
How old is she? How old is she?
She's getting ready to turn 7 in July.
Okay,
But
girl, let me
my,
tell
my 2 year old doesn't get it. She's still
you.
just like right here.
Oh, your 2-year-old doesn't get it.
No, not 2 year old, not yet.
Okay, so let me so there's something that I did that made my children understand it. Well, it was like two P's we also talking about: patience and what was the other P? But we've talked about patience a lot. And so I never really liked, I'm not a person that likes kids. Let's just say that, believe it or not. But I like my kids, and I like people that parent their kids well, in my opinion. So I'm just not like, hey, like when I like someone's kids, it's like they've been doing a good job and stuff, because I don't want to deal with people's stuff. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I
Right.
don't believe in bad parents situation. They're a reflection of their kids. Anyways, it's another story. But what I do with my kids, I knew they need to poop. Okay. So as a human being, really as a mammal, because dogs are like this too, they need a sense of privacy. Like, you know how dogs would go and find a spot. We as adults, we as humans, we like to have like a little privacy, right?
Right.
So what I did when they were potty training, I would do doing while they're trying to poop, and right in the midst of it. This might sound so disgusting, but it was a teach and learn a lesson. It was a lesson for them. So I would just be like, hey, bah, 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 bah. And I'd be like, and it was kind of like hold that energy where it's like, oh, you need a moment. Okay. So I would make sure I stress that phrase, you need a moment.
Yeah.
Guess what? Mommy needs a moment. You need it. Naya need it. It was us three all the time. Like, okay. So we discussed this at as early as like when they can go to the bathroom. And so what
Yeah.
happened? It was like a learning lesson where like when I'm pooping, I need a moment. Okay, mommy, because they knew how it felt. They closed the door. Okay, so when women tell me I don't take showers, I don't know, take a bath, I'm so like I'm just like I wish I could create a school or something. Because to me, that is your own thing. Like that is you. And I'm a
Yeah.
I don't really consider myself a single mother, but I am. But we co-parent, so like
Yeah.
they have dad. But like as a mother, that's the head household of this house. I never had that problem. But it had to start in beginning phases, because the development stages of children and their oneness, which is a good thing, selfishness, um,
Yeah.
that's cool. But then we're here to guide them in understanding. You're not the only
Absolutely.
one, so yeah.
Right. Right. And we do need to guide them, and guiding them, we're teaching them also through our actions and what we're doing. Although I grew up with the phrase "do as I say, not as I do" type thing, right? So that doesn't really work out, because we're like, I see some of me and my mom, even though I was like, trying to do what she said to do, but not do as she do. But we naturally just become a part of, what we see and what we're around and the energy that surround us and things like that. So, and my sister's on here. She's laughing. She knows it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've mentally had to intentionally had to change, like you were saying earlier, change a lot of what we grew up, experiencing, learning, that has just been, kind of engraved in us. And so I've let go. That's one of the things that I let go. Like I don't do it anymore, but I used to catch myself in the beginning, like, she'll ask, well, why you do this? Well, this is, like, okay, I got to stop right there. Mommy, I don't want to say that. Well, and explain why. So I'm real good with that now, explaining why, and implementing the actions that I want them to do. So, what are some things that you've had to let go, whether it be to better, what are some things that you've had to let go of or needed to let go of, and was like, okay, this is something I need to let go for me to become who I want to be and have that mental state to present to my kids, to the world. Maybe I need to rephrase that. I think I lost you. I think I lost myself. What are
I was
some
following.
things?
I was following. I was like, okay, but you restructure it however you want. I want to make sure I answer it properly for you.
Okay, so let me restructure it. So, what are some things that you've had to let go of to better your mental state? Because it was something that was possibly like holding you back from, where you wanted to be mentally or be physically, emotionally.
Hmm. I feel like control.
Hmm.
Control.
That's a good one for sure. Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of parenting is very selfish. Let's just start there. When you are aware how selfish it is, then I feel like as a good parent, or as good as you would like to be, start recognizing the control that has been passed down from generation to generation to us. And so a lot of times parents feel like their child is a representation of them. Instead of just recognizing you're just raising these human beings into being as successful as they like to be adults. They're young, you're helping them on to their adulthood. So however they want to end up is how they want to end up. Like my only thing is I just don't want them to be killers. Like that's it. Don't harm anyone else, and that's all I care about. But then that's like obvious, right? But then people actually have like these things that they didn't get to do as an adult, so they put it on their kids. So for me, by me living and becoming as successful as I want to be, that frees up the control I have over my daughters, because I'm living my life's mission, and I can set new goals and not putting it on my kids. And so
Hmm.
releasing the control, that of like how they're going to dress, or how they want to think. And so releasing that, like, even their relationship with their father, like, we're obviously not together. We're cool. We've been in this co-parenting gang for probably 11 plus years now. Was not like this in the beginning. And like just recently, I've been dealing with less control, dealing with that. I thought I was cool, but then there was like more control I had to release. So for me, I can't think of anything else as far as substances um or
Any
anything.
jobs or something, like, some
Um
people just kind of hold on to things that, they
yes,
feel like they.
yes, there is something. So I was working at Apple. So I was doing hair in a salon. I got fired from there. It wasn't my fault. And then I ended up I didn't have a job. So this is right when I left their dad. I was at a salon. I was working, managing a salon and stuff. And then I got released from there and I was like, oh shit, like, what am I going to do? And thank God the landlord was such a sweet angel. She let me stay there until I got a job. And so I got a job at Apple. And so at this time, Imani and Naya are like probably 2 and 3, and I was working there, the mall job and doing hair on the side. And I always wanted to be that mom that pursued her dreams, but never was that I'm pursuing my dreams, go sit down somewhere type mother. Like I was like going to be attentive and be aware. But so this is me trying to figure it out on my own because, my mom was attentive, but she's a different woman. I'm me. So what I had to do is let go of Apple. I love that job.
Yeah.
um, I envisioned, because the way I was raised, whatever we want to do, our parents gave us resources. So for me, I knew my kids are going to be something in the arts. Me and her dad are that way. So I was like, whatever they mentioned, like that's the type of mom I'm like, all right, you ballet, got it. Let me still go online and stuff. But I can't do that with a retail job. They don't give
Yeah.
the jobs are made for single adults with no kids. So
Yeah.
I need that's I worked, did hair for 2 years, and then I eventually let Apple go. It was because I wanted the flexibility as a mother. That's why entrepreneurship works well for me, because I could schedule my life around my kids.
Right.
And yeah, so and I wanted to be present. Like I didn't want to not
Yeah.
be my kids are too smart for that. They know when I'm there or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sometimes like holding on to a job too long or holding on to anything too long, it takes a toll on you. Then, like we've been saying, like it just trickles down to everything else that you have going on. So, letting go of things for your mental well-being and for the well-being of your kids, is important. And sometimes a hard decision that you have to make, but you
Yeah.
got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I just
Um,
I hope that anyone that's watching, a lot of times people feel like once they have kids, then their life it restarts back up when they're 18. I tell you, like if you go with your goals and your gifts that you are giving, everything you need to do those gifts are going to be given to you. It's just a matter of having the balls to just jump and go into it. I hear excuses people have, which is, oh, but I have kids. I do too, boo boo. I do too. And as a woman, that this is my choice as a co-parenter. Like that's one of my things when I will write my book. I keep saying it, but I'm gonna write it right now. I'm gonna write it soon.
Right,
Um,
Shamir. Right, Shamir.
I allowing the father to father. Like if that man is not molesting, beating the shit out of your kid or harming them, let them parent. Like I only date fathers, and that's the one thing I hear. Of course, there's three sides to a story, but I hear women, because of how things went down, they don't want their child. So you now have your children 24/7, and you say you can't do it. Like so I saw the opportunity for me. First of all, I'm with a man that wants to father. That's the whole thing. Like I don't have any words for someone that's dealing with someone that doesn't want to be a father. That's a whole nother story. But I'm talking
Yeah.
about guys that want to, but the mother, it's a battle because of someone still hurt. It could be the father too. But like allowing the other parent the parent. And when y'all are doing that, you got the opportunity to do what you want to do while they're not around. To me, it's a sweet deal. I and my props go out to women that have their kids full time, because it's like I love my, I don't know how y'all do it with a husband too. Like I know that was one of the questions tonight, and like, oh Lord, like my props, like it's you know, I watched my parents do it and stuff like that. I watched my grandparents, you know, and I get it, but I haven't had that experience. So but my whole thing is that you have to say yes to your thing. Like, why is it that we stop being optimistic as adults and we have these things as children, and something just says, you know what, my life is over, I have to, like, why can't we live like big kids and be still optimistic? Like, you see what I'm doing now. Chimere got whole nother plans for something else in the next 10 years. Like, you're gonna see different Chimeres in the next 10 years, you know what I'm saying? Because I know it took my mother 9 years to get me here. I could do all the things. You know what I'm saying? So if that makes my eyebrows go like this, I could do something else. Like, but my whole point is that if you're watching this and you have a secret gift in your heart and you feel like, man, I really wish I could do that, and you're watching, you're scrolling people, watching them do their things, like, nothing really comes like easy, but I do believe things come easy when it comes to your gifts that God has given you. Because what will happen, we have angels, we have people that are there to support you and guide you. I literally have manifested and seen so many things come into fruition just by me opening my mouth and say I want to do this, and then the person I need comes here and they're here and they're here. That happens for everybody, but you have to believe. You believe it cannot happen, you're right. But if you believe it can happen, you're right. So,
Amen. Church,
yeah,
yes.
all kinds of prayer.
All right.
Yes.
Did you have anything that you want to leave us mothers with, or leave the mothers watching, the soon-to-be mothers? There's this thing that people don't believe. I believe. I don't know. People believe that soon-to-be mothers should not celebrate Mother's Day. Let me tell you, those 5 months I laid up in the bed because I had an incompetent cervix. I was doing the work, honey. I am a mother. I am carrying this baby. She's not here yet. But anyway, all you soon-to-be mothers, happy Mother's Day, um, and all that good stuff. So is there anything that you want to leave us with, Shimmy? Shimmy, you look like you have something to say today.
Like,
Go ahead.
first of all, ladies, don't listen to those people that say don't celebrate. Every day is a Mother's Day. Like, everyone wouldn't be here without us. So it's every day is a Mother's Day. I know we have this particular day. But just keep going within your heart. If you're a new mommy, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to come to you with their suggestions, with their know-how, or with their baggage. Don't listen to your heart. You have a whole what am I trying to say? You have a system in your body that creates a human from a spirit, and it comes out into human form. So you're a magical unicorn already, all right? So, meaning it's a God, it's body. You know, you have God in you. So, like, what is wrong, what is right. It's between you and your child. So just trust yourself in all your decisions. Do not compare yourself to your mom. Don't listen to them. They should be there as an asset to you. Also, be aware, especially for the young mommies, like, understand everyone's wanting to come to you, and their intentions are good, but it can become kind of overwhelming because you're new to this. But just calmly tell them, no, thank you. I understand where or maybe give a time and day for that. But I remember how overwhelming that was 14 years ago, how overwhelming that was. But just trust, when I started trusting myself and not my relationship with, I got spankings. I don't spank my kids. my mom is like in awe with how I've been raising my children. This is coming from here. And I always tell my kids, I really don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just doing some stuff with you. And they're like, this is good, mommy, cool. So everybody, everybody watching this, happy Mother's Day. Keep doing
Yes,
you. I support you in your healthier lifestyle with your children. I pray
yes,
that you are on a journey with them to strengthen your to keep your mental and to help them and support them in their mental. So
yes. Absolutely. Great advice. Great advice. This has been so much fun and just so inspiring, enlightening, and encouraging. I'm sure everybody watching got something from it. I know I did. I'm gonna definitely get to talking more with Naomi, the 2-year-old, about space
yeah,
and moments.
yeah, I mean, keep that. Tell her, let's keep that same energy. Like you gotta treat her the way she treats you because it's like a learning thing, you know. So it's like, oh, okay. Like you'll see their little wheels turning and stuff, you know. Even when this is my other favorite thing when they were little, I don't like when kids are fussing at their parents in the toy section or somewhere in the store because they didn't get something. So here's the thing. I love buying my kids stuff. And they would when they were little, I would say, when you ask questions, you're gonna get a yes or no. And so when I bought them things, we'll stop right at the door and they'll be like so excited. I'll go get down to their level. I said, remember, this is a yes, right? Yes, mommy. Today was a yes. There are going to be times that mommy will say no. But I want you, when I say no to you, I want you to remember that mommy does say yes sometimes. And so in life, they're going to know, like, you have to ask questions. Like, I teach them, like, to use their throat chakra, exercise that thing, because if they don't ask questions, they won't know. You're not always going to get a yes, but you're going to get, it's always a yes or a no, regardless. Maybes is usually a no. But at the door, so that what that did, when I did that, when I did say no, one, I felt okay with it because I know I'm also not feeling like I'm a bad parent. I think it's parent guilt too.
Right.
Um, a because you know when you look at your baby's face, you're like, oh, you know. But if you really can't do it and you can't spend the money, then let's talk about it. Like I do buy y'all things, but right now mommy can't do it. And so
Yeah.
that cut out all the like I don't do tantrums. And so we having a conversation. I will walk right over. My kids don't do tantrums either, but if I had like my I had my nephew one time, like I'll step right over you, sir. Like we're not doing tantrums. I talk to big kids. You know, I don't talk to babies. Babies cry and you can't make up what they're gonna say. So it's that helped a lot. To this day, I was like, y'all remember when I used to say that? It's like, no. So, but it's like it takes off I think parents hold a lot of guilt. Um sometimes, and it's just being very open and raw with your kids. Kids want raw, they want real. They know when their parents are BSing or lying or trying to talk to them like a little kid. Like I keep it real with my kids, and to me I feel like, as we calling it, conscious parenting is parenting. That's one of my friends reminded me about that. She's a therapist. She's like, Chimere, that's just parenting. You're right.
Right.
You know, it's just that it's different for us because most of us haven't experienced that. And it's not about talking with your like, even though I think I do probably, I don't ever yell at my kids. So I don't have to whisper. It's not whispering, you know, because I think conscious parenting is catching like a bad rap with some people because they're like, I'm keep real, I'm whip my ass. The kids, the parents that still whip their kids, I'm not talking about them. The ones that are curious about this, and they feel like, okay, damn, I gotta act like, no, just be yourself. Be the person you wish you had when you were little. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think, but be you. Like you
Yeah.
have to look like somebody else. Be you. In front of my kids, they think I'm ratchet. They don't cuss, And I'm not against cussing. Like if they need to cuss somebody out or whatever, and it gets them off their chest, I'm like, do it. They don't do it because they respect me so much. They don't want to do that, but I know they cuss. And but I'm not against. It's like I feel like when people start this relationship now, it makes the teenage years a lot easier, and you
Yeah.
create a relationship that bond of safe space with your kids instead
Mm.
of creating a space of slave master slave
Right.
or
Want to
God.
talk to you. They don't want to talk to you and tell you
Yeah,
nothing. And you kind of shut out from the things that you need to be helping them with along the way, for sure.
you can
Yeah.
pretend to act like you care, but then kids can feel that you're just judging them, and they'll shut down. And that's why you have teenagers shutting down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You're actually tapping into the topic that we're going to be talking about next Friday. Helping your kids or youth, because some people don't have kids, but they have nieces and they have nephews, helping them to manage their mental health, because some of the kids, they just not there, or don't understand it, or know how to control their emotions, or how to manage it for themselves. Like, we just lost a young lady a few days ago. You heard about our I think it's Arlana, the girl. She put a note online about, she's going to kill herself. She did, because she just couldn't take it anymore. She
she's a
just, hmm?
she's a mother.
No, she's a young girl.
Oh,
She was a freshman in college, just went to college, cheerleader and all that. And yeah, our
hmm.
young people are
That's
hurting and don't know how to release
that's
or.
like, I think about that, and I just, not to say that it's someone's fault as far as why she did that. I just know that I feel that a lot of teenagers or children don't have a space that they could just be raw with and just be not
Right.
supported, because people forget how hard middle school, elementary school, high school, people be like, you ain't got no problems. And I'm like, you forgot how intense school can be. And then you
And then
come home,
like social media.
bada boom. And then they're comparing themselves and all that. So it's like, I talked about this on a live before. This is about having real conversations. But then here we go. A lot of adults don't even know how to have real conversations with themselves. So then here we go. That's a whole nother story.
Yep.
So yeah.
Well, girlfriend, this has been amazing. Thank you again so
Thank you.
much for joining. And again, plug, go get yourself some Dr. Locs if you have lots, or even natural hair, guys. It
Yes.
works on natural hair as well. Spray.
I used
And I've been using quite, let me see, where we at? Well, I shook it up. It's coming
okay.
down. Right there. So you only got to spray it. I thought I was using way more than that, so I got a lot more than I thought I had too. So
It's the hair crack. Everyone tells me it's hair crack, so I look
it
for it to
is
make it.
smells wonderful, and it's light, because most stuff that I normally use on my hair, it like gets stuck in there. My
You don't
sister told
want
me to water the stuff down, but you don't have to water this down.
no.
It's already ready to use. So
We have,
anyway, I'm done with my little plug there.
and we have Mother's Day sale this all through.
Yes.
And so you guys can go to drlocs.com. That's drlocs.com and purchase. And it's sales up to 35% right now. So
Woo child. All right now. That's what I'm talking about. We love us a sale.
yeah. Thank
All
you
right. Well,
again.
thank you so much for joining in. Everybody else, join us next week. And y'all have a fantastic Mother's Day weekend. And I'll see y'all next time.
Thank you.
Bye,
Take
Chimere.
care. Bye.